All right, welcome. So I will do the introduction here, and I'm looking at my other screen just to make sure I am online. But welcome everyone that's joining us. We have Miss Teeuana White, Miss Pretty Pockets here herself to answer some Q&A for our audience. So please make sure that you post your questions, say hello in the comments below. So I am going to let you go ahead and take the stage from here, Teeuana. And if you'll just start off with an introduction and we'll just go into our questions. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Teeuana White, aka Pretty Pockets. Also, when you hashtag it, when you hashtag the Fine Ass Trucker, I will pop up. But first off, I just want to thank you, Lada, for providing this opportunity for me to share your platform, to talk to your people in your community, because I'm just excited about just being a woman in trucking. So I'm just excited that you've taken initiative to showcase and just let people like me tell my story and my experience with getting into an industry like this. So thank you so much for having me. So, getting into the trucking industry, how did I get into the trucking industry? I was a girl who pretty much has been an opportunist as far as entrepreneurship when I left a 9-year job in retail. I was a trucking. I wouldn't even say I knew anything about trucking. I went into trucking based on the fact that I heard it makes money and my time wouldn't be wasted. I had spent so much time and money in areas of interest that I like to do this. I like the club scene. I like the idea of having, a bar, a lounge. I've always been like a nightlife girl. So I had like trial and errors with other entrepreneur ventures that just didn't go right. I ended up wasting a lot of time and a lot of money. So when trucking came to me, I still had a lot of my money saved. I'm cashing out my 401k. And it was like one of those decisions. You ever had a decision like, this has to work? The next thing I do has to go through. I can't fail. Like, I have no plan B, really. So I was very, very timid about my choice. But my son's father at the time he was just like a little gnat in my ear. Like, look, get a truck, get a truck, get a truck. You're smart. You can figure it out. And you guys, I was so intimidated at first. Like, it was so fearful. It's like, it was so foreign. And so I remember going down to a spot in Fontana and looking at some trucks. It got word that they had like this fleet of old Stater Brother trucks, and there were day cabs, 10 speed, which at that time, this terminology was like, what is a 10 speed? What's a 13 speed? What's a manual? So I went down there and I looked at these trucks, and it was about, I want to say about 12 trucks. I'm kind of like off with the exact number, and I didn't move on it. I went home and I got into Google, right? All of us like get into Google sometimes when we want to figure out something or we just feel like we need a direct answer. I didn't really like have someone to pick up the phone and say, look, you've been in trucking, you own a company, what should I do? Because I have ran across truck drivers and I had an uncle who was in trucking, but again, no one owned their own company. So when I went down 3 days later after Googling, feeling like I did some research, I went down and I purchased this truck. And the reason why I purchased the truck is because 3 days prior, it was 12. And 3 days later, around 12, it was only 3 left. I said, yo, regardless if I know what I'm doing, regardless if I don't have it figured out, something is going on with this because it was a whole bunch 3 days ago and it's like almost any today. So I went ahead and put my deposit down and I bought my first truck cash. And I really just went head in first and started figuring out what do I have to do. I had a truck before I even understood that I had to get an authority. So I got into trucking, to sum it up, based on the opportunity to make money. After doing my small research with Google for 2 days, realizing that trucking was in demand, that there was a big use for it. And when I thought about things that would stick around for a long time, we're talking about longevity, we're talking about being able to pass something down to your children and really validating your time and your money, I felt confident enough, even though I didn't know enough, to say, look, I'm willing to take this risk and figure out what I need to do to be successful in this industry. So being an owner operator, I would say from my personal experience, number one tip, you guys, get educated. Understand what it is that you are required to do as an owner operator. Now, mind you, owner operator is owning your own trucking company and operating it. It's completely different from just being an owner or just being a driver. It's being an owner operator, meaning you are holding your CDL, you are driving your truck, and you are the owner of your truck, and you run or operate in some sense of your trucking company, okay? So whether you're dispatching yourself and making sure your truck is making money and you guys are doing loads, or you hired a dispatcher on the back end, you're responsible for driving, owning, and operating your unit, right? So number one tip is to be educated on what's required of you to be an owner operator when it comes to the paperwork, the regulations, the policies, the rules, compliance, okay? Also, what will it look like for you financially, right? Trucking is, for me, is an industry that, in my opinion, it's a very high overhead. And I always advise people to have a cushion. So whether you have some extra cash or you're leveraging your credit, I always advise everybody to have some type of cushion, because things happen, not only just with maintenance and breakdowns. You have large lump sums of money that are going out, even with your fuel expenses. Just have your cushion if what you're not prepared for ends up happening, so that way you can always be proactive instead of having to be reactive. Because I've always feared of investing my time and my money, and I'm not able to upkeep my business because something hard can hit me. You guys, when I got my second truck, right? I only got a 30-day warranty on it. Day 37, my entire DEF system went out. I'm in California. I have to keep, you can delete it and do all these illegal things, right? But I'm been by the book. And so I had to get a brand new DEF system. Second truck, day 37 of having a truck, and it was over an $11,000 expense. So I would advise you guys to just have your cushion, know what your expenses can look like, so you can be prepared. You can have some savings, or you can have some type of credit leverage to make sure that you never sink and you're always swimming in this industry. And then third, I would say, get in a community and get in a network, like you guys are here. To get in a community and a network of a mentor and of people who are like-minded with like yourself, who are in the same industry as yourself, because you always need somebody that you can pick up the phone and be like, hey, this just happened. What do I do? And so me being a part of the Trucking Cheat Code, which I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about in depth later, we're mentors and we have a strong community to where we're accessible to our community 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days. And not only do we answer questions for them, but they're in there helping each other. And so it's just really, really a big, I would just say it's like I wear a big chip when it's like I know I can call several people and I can lean on people for advice, or just like what to do or what's up the road, right? So get a community, know your numbers, and know what to expect on the paperwork side, your compliance, rules, and regulations. The female trucking experience. It's interesting. I would say what I had to realize first was that me being an attractive woman in trucking, not just a woman, any woman, right? But that made it a little harder, is that your safety comes first. And so I always love to talk about, taking care of ourselves and being safe, being a woman in trucking. Now, on the outside of it, being an owner, being a dispatcher, being a broker, being behind the desk, we got a lot of power, you guys, because I don't know what it is about a woman. It's like we kind of just get things done in a different manner than men do. Like we can get the job done. But the women that are on the road, and they're in the field and they're hands on, it's a different world out there. It's not built for weak. It's not built for not only physically being weak, mentally being weak, emotionally being weak. As a woman, we're already disadvantaged by being in a male dominated industry. Okay. On top of that, I know we're very, it's minorities, it's different races, but being a Black woman, it's two. You're Black, and majority of trucking, if you think years back, and my mother's white, so don't take any offense. They've been, successful in passing it down to their grandkids and grandkids and grandkids, and it has been predominantly more white older men out there in trucking, and I still see them. So it's like we're really coming in as a culture, doing what we got to do, standing up and saying like, look, we're here now. So being Black and being a woman out there, it's a different type of ball game. So I always say safe, be safe. And the reason why I've thrown out that emotional weakness and the mentally being weak is because when you're out there on the road, you have kids. You have to worry about your kids, but you can't let what's at home affect what's going on the road. You have to be focused. You have to be paying attention. You have to be alert. I'm going to let you guys know some things that I do being a female trucker on the road, right? Because I still drive. I'm actually going to get in my truck next week. And so when I'm getting ready to, go to bed for the night, and it's nighttime, right? I still have always been fearful of being in my truck and someone coming in. I'll pull in another truck stop, right? And I'll get out and I'll get my fuel, or go to the restroom, I'll take my shower, and that is not where I'll stay for the night. I'll go to the one across the street, down the road, maybe even an exit down, and then I'll park and go to sleep, because I just don't want anybody to know that that woman that got out of that truck is by herself and she parked her truck right there. So when I'm coming into the truck stops and I'm parking for the night, I'm never getting out of my truck. Most of the time I'm coming in with a hat, and I'm coming in and I close my curtains, I park, I put my seatbelts through my doors, I remove anything in my dashboard that looks feminine, right? Because I don't want to be a target. And if for some reason you do have to be out there at night, just be aware of what's going on. Don't walk through the trailers. Don't walk through the trucks. Like, be open, be in the light, do what you need to do. So just always remain safe. There's a lot of men out there that have good intentions, and they just see a woman and, they're out there on the road. They like, hey, it'll go on, right? And then there's those people that you don't know those are their intentions. So I never really kind of get too personal. I'm friendly enough, but I never get too personal, letting somebody know what's going on with me and my truck while I'm out there. And, just never letting someone get the advantage of you. Never letting anybody walk you to your truck, making sure you're good. Like, I'm good, I don't need it. So legally, keep any weapons that you can feel can keep you safe, a taser or something. And just make sure that like your safety is priority, because you have to get back home. Whether you have children waiting for you at home or not, you have family that loves you, and you love yourself. So just never get caught slipping to where you're not mentally there enough to make sure you're aware of what you got to do. You're not physically strong enough to make sure that you're understanding what your truck needs, how to handle the small things on your truck, how to get yourself out of a situation or off the side of the road, because that's a very dangerous spot for a woman to be, is on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. Just like have your A game strong in every single area, because again, there, I wouldn't say people aren't rooting for us, because I get a lot of support and I get a lot of motivation and I just get a lot of encouragement. But there's still a huge percentage when you're out there on the road, they don't want us out there. They say slick things, they say derogatory things, they say mean things, right? Sarcastic things. And over the CB, it happens all the time. So it's like they don't want us out there, but we out there. We out here, and we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to keep increasing our numbers by the masses, because I truly feel I'm one of those women, along with others, because I have some dope women out there that are encouraging more women and more women and more women to just do what they want to do and get out here. And if you want to get into trucking, there's nothing that you can't do. So just be safe, you guys. So getting your CDL, big truck energy, get it. Okay. Some people have no desire. We're going off my opinion. I always say get it if you're an owner. And the reason why I advise it is because it will come a time that a driver will fail you, your truck will fail you, or something will happen to where you may need to move your truck, or you need to ensure that your company is creating revenue. So in the event that you don't have a driver, you have an overhead, you have probably a truck note and insurance that's going to be due every month. Just the fact that you can get in your truck and drive when need be is very important, because at the end of the day, this is an investment that you made, and 1 month in the hole can hurt you. 2 months in the hole can hurt you. And if you got a driver that gets to playing with you, because trust me, these drivers will play with you. They will get in their feelings. They will have another opportunity. They will, maybe just can't take it. Whatever the reason is, you never want to tolerate a driver and go against your policies, go against your procedures, go against the way and the nature that you want your company not only to be ran, but to be represented. That you have to tolerate a driver because you don't want your truck to miss money. Nah, get your ass out and I can drive my own shit. Not that I love to do that, but it has been a time where I've had to do that. So needless to say, I feel like having my CDL has given me an advantage to never just fall underneath, and to always just make sure I'm trying to prosper, trying to grow, and always creating revenue. I've been fortunate to not have to be in my truck for a few months, right? Like I've had all my units moving, but I was helping one particular driver. He had his own truck. It was down. He needed to make money somewhere else. So a truck I had problems getting a driver with. He's been in for about 4 months, but his time is up. So I'm gonna close out the year strong. I'm gonna get in my truck and I'm gonna make sure we get our numbers in for December. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't invest the time into getting the CDL. Look into a good school. Find a school that fits what you're able to commit to. If you're doing this on the side of your regular income or you have free time, just look into the school of what it provides, what you'll be responsible for, what you'll be obligated to pay back, like what will your obligations be, and make a commitment to that school based on your needs financially and physically. And then, just go for it. It was one of the hardest things I did. I quit 2 times. I cried. I stomped out. I was so dramatic the second time. I remember throwing my book down. I was like, fuck this shit. Because it was so challenging for me. So when I got those CDLs that day, it was one of the biggest accomplishments that I felt like I had did outside of having my first daughter. So I truly encourage it. But if you don't get your CDL, that is not to say that you won't be successful in this industry, but having it, you have one up. I can't really see all the questions as much. What should you look into as far as finding a good school? Your area, the distance. Again, the availability. Some schools require you to go 2 to 3 weeks straight. Some leverage the time frame that you have to complete your schooling. So I would just call around in your area. There always will pop up, and depending on where your area is, just find the best school for you. And going down to the schools and seeing how they operate before you pay isn't a bad thing either. People do that when they get ready to go to colleges. You remember, I don't know, like with being in high school, and it's like, oh, San Bernardino State University, and then we had San Diego State, and then you got UCLA. And I remember us going to different universities, like, oh, I like this campus, but I like this cafeteria, and I like this. And so it's like, when you are looking for a school, like, do yourself a favor and just go check the school out and see, like, is this a good fit for me? Again, financially and for what you're looking for, because everybody has different circumstances and different needs. Road trip.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I know you were mentioning that you were going to talk a little bit more about the trucking cheat code, so I didn't
Yes.
know if you had something you wanted to say on that right now.
Actually, I do. So thank you. So the trucking cheat code is a platform that me and my partners cumulatively got together. Myself, Damien, Blue Collar CEO, who is Marcus, and the Trek Estates on Instagram, who is Eric Ball. And the four of us got together because we shared a common interest to being able to really impact our culture. So what we noticed was that a lot of people individually were coming to us individually asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for mentorship, and saying, how do I? How can I? Or what do I need to shift the business that I have now because I'm failing? I need to improve my company. So, what we did is we created the trucking cheat code, and it is now one of, I would, in my opinion, based on our reviews in our community, how they love us, it would say we have the best teaching platform, not only because it's mine, because our mission is not to just get people into trucking. It's to actually teach the fundamentals and give you guys the knowledge of what it is that you need to know and understand to stay in trucking on every single level. So whether you come in as a dispatcher, we teach you dispatching and beyond, not just to be a basic dispatcher, but what do you really need to do to be a top dispatcher? What are the things that you can provide to a carrier to handicap that carrier and really set yourself aside from the other dispatchers to understanding the back office, dealing with the drivers, understanding the EOD logs, maybe filing the IFTAs for the company, but really understanding and regulating the back office of that company to take your percentage anywhere from, an 8 to 10 up until maybe a 20. So our goal is to, you know, create the best dispatchers and teach them things that they can implement into their dispatching company to take them beyond that. Okay, when it comes to our trucking 101, that's introduction to trucking. We teach you how to start your company, structure it, and everything you need to know to operate a full trucking company. Okay, from A to Z, start, structure, and operate. Trucking 102 is advancing your company, tightening up in your company, scaling your company. You want to go into different trailer diversities, or you just, you ever need to just really like rebrand and just tighten up your bolts and get all your loose screws out the way. That's what trucking 102 is. And we touch a lot of about regulations in there, EOD, and just going a little bit more depth. So you got to do 101 before you can do 102. But if you already have a trucking company, 102 is right for you. And then Eric and Damien also have an EOD and regulations class that they teach where it's saving so many people money. So at the end of the day, it's like we come into this industry knowing that it can really hit your pockets and it can really be very expensive to maintain a trucking company. So our goal in the trucking cheat code, again, is to not just get people in, but to really teach them what they need to know to stay in. We love to just see people coming in and then 2 years, they're still in, and then 5 years they're still in, and the goal's being reached, whether you want to have one truck and just run your one truck, or you want to grow and scale to 5 or 10 trucks. Just being part of the process that's impacting so many people who look like us, because truth of the matter is, not all of our mentees are African American, but we are attracting a lot of minority mentees, and a lot of people in our culture are scared to ask for help. They're scared to waste money. They're scared to be finesse, right? I can just use words that you guys can relate to. So we got tired of hearing about the finesse out there, and seeing people who eagerly and anxiously wanted to learn this industry so they can do it right. And what I realized is, and what I apply and what I value is that you never know where someone's dollar came from. You could come spend. We had a bundle, all three classes for $497 for our Cyber Monday and Black Friday. That $500 could have been part of a whole bunch of money, and it was nothing to that one person. But what if that one mother, what if that owner, that driver that really wants his own truck spent his last? What if they saved? What if they borrowed because they just wanted this so bad? So we value every dollar as if it's somebody's last dollar, and they betting on us to make sure that they're shifting their generational wealth. They're shifting the dynamic of the finances within their family. And so because we're on the mission to do the same thing, I just strongly feel like me and my partners, we all share the same values and integrity. So I love the Trucking Cheat Code. We're having a lot of success stories. We have a tight knit, bonded community. Lada has had the pleasure to coming on and helping us several times and giving her expertise on different things that she does. And we're here, we're growing, we're still in our first year, but I can honestly say that the Trucking Cheat Code is something that's going to be around for a very long time. And if you desire to get help, you need a mentor, you need any one of our classes, you need your hand help, or you just want to be a part of our monthly membership. After people take our seminars, they enroll in our monthly membership, and we have 2 calls every single month. We just had one yesterday. We did trivias. We go over different corners, compliance corners, safety corners, finance corners, and we have topics that we touch on. With it going into the winter, we had a winter breakout, things that you need to do, preparing for your truck, preparing your drivers, what the loads are going to look like, how fuel is still high, how you can be more efficient, what to look for on a percentage level when it comes to your fuel. So we're always giving out like different gems and advice in our monthly coaching call. So we have 2 a month. You pay for it monthly, or you can pay for it at a discounted rate for the full year. But imagine coming into an industry and you took a class, and after that class, it's like, okay, I have a question, or I need validation, or I need to just confirm this, or this happened. We didn't go over this. The monthly mentorship allows everyone to be in a group chat with us, get on Zoom calls with us, open Q&A with us, and just get that like advice and security of like, okay, even when I don't got this, they got me and they got it. So it's super dope. Any of you guys who are interested, we're on Instagram as the Trucking Cheat Code, at the Trucking Cheat Code. Our website is thetruckingcheatcode.com. Facebook is Trucking Cheat Code, the Trucking Cheat Code.
This is awesome information. Look, you knocked that out on time. I love it.
Oh, we had
So
30 minutes. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're at 30, but look, if you have a few more moments, I wanted to open it up to live Q&A. We've had quite a few people following us right now, so I am going to start posting the questions. So you guys
Okay.
start adding the questions. One of the questions on here was, how do you find drivers? And so this is as a owner operator, and again, owning your own company. How do you find drivers?
Okay. So, as you guys know, you've heard that there's a driver shortage. But when looking for a driver, first of all, it's a double-sided interview. Have your company together, because as you're looking for a driver, they're looking at you as a company. So just having, when you do interview them, or you are getting drivers who are interested, you can lose a driver so quickly by not having your things together. You're not presenting your company in a professional manner. You're not doing your interview in a professional setting. So when looking for them, just make sure that you're ready for the same interview that you're about to give them, they're going to be giving you. Um, a good places to find drivers, or to at least look. There's meetatruckdriver.com. There's Craigslist. There's Indeed. There's the truck stops. There's footwork that's always needed. You can always go pass out flyers. You can always go out and network. You can put hiring on your trailers. You can put hiring on your trucks. You can have your drivers wear your company logo, but in the back it says we're always hiring, and have your information. So just like different marketing strategies to attract new drivers, but ultimately you'll have to be where they are on the employment site. You'll have to do your footwork where drivers are. And then when it comes to people being interested in your company, you got to move fast. So just having your things in line to make sure that you're able to, go through your qualifications really quickly and get them in as soon as possible. Most of the time, offering an advancement, signing on bonus, something of that nature, is more intriguing than just saying that we're hiring, because people, it's a very competitive sport right now, getting drivers to get with you and to stay with you. So Those are some places that you guys can go. But while you're doing it, you guys got to be quick, you got to be sharp, and you got to know exactly what you're looking for and what you're able to offer a driver. So being definite with their home time, respecting their home time, seeing what their needs are versus your needs, and seeing if you're a compatible match. Because the worst thing to do is think you find a driver and then it wasn't a good match, and they're out of your truck within 30 days. And if you do have multiple units, give bonus incentives for your drivers. Hey, if you bring me a driver, they stay longer than 90 days, I got a $500 bonus for you. That gives them incentive to go out there and also network and talk to other drivers. And the better you treat your driver that's in your truck, imagine how they're speaking of your company when they're out there promoting their walk-in promotion. So treat the driver that you do have good so they can recruit other drivers for you. Where can you get this shirt? I got it at the She Trucking not the women's conference, the She Trucking conference in Chattanooga. I supported a woman's vending table. She had a lot of trucking shirts. I bought this one, so I'm sorry I can't direct y'all, but I don't know. The next steps for me and my business, I want to start a dispatching company. I'm looking at getting a team together because I have confidence that I can attract a lot of carriers who need my help and want to get their units moving at the best capacity. So starting a dispatching company. I actually scaled down and sold one of my older units, which was my first truck recently. So I went from 3 trucks to 2 trucks. So in the next year, if the prices are right and things look good, I want to get 2 more units and launch my dispatching company this year. Continue to mentor, have 1,000 plus people in our mentorship, and get 100 women into either driving trucks or being a trucking company owner. That's 2022.
I love it. Look, the goals and that you had them lined up. That's ultra important. It's just to have them lined up. I didn't see any other comments right now, so I just wanted to hold on. We're not going to be here long. She's a busy woman. We all are, right? Got to make this money. So make sure that you're connecting with her. So this is her link tree. I see that you're involved in a couple other things, so that's why I really like about Linktree. You can put it all in,
Yeah.
one spot. So if check that out as well. The mentorship program with the additional education and classes with the trucking cheat code, as well as just following her because you've always got great energy, great content out there on Instagram. So we are here to support as well. I didn't see anything else right now. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and close this up. So this video will be turned into a YouTube link for anyone to share with those who are off the Facebook platform and just, to share with others. And if you're looking at sharing your skills and talents that go towards the culture, the community in trucking, please just reach out to me and we will make sure we give you some screen time here. Oh, we have one other question or comment actually. Look, I have to read it all. So it says, so inspiring. Thank you for this. Else is feeling down because my driver just resigned out of nowhere and ready to give up. Thanks for this. I'm not out of the game just yet. I've come too far. So yes,
Exactly. You got it. You got it.
absolutely. So, yes. I mean, and as she was just saying, things happen all the time. I mean, that's just the nature of business. If it went perfect every single time, it wouldn't really be business. Is there something? Okay, here's another question. Is there anything that you would do different knowing what you know now?
Yes, I would have. I would have understood more of what was required of me. That's the biggest thing. That's why I love the trucking cheat code. I've now become what I lacked. So I would get educated. I would get under someone who could help me and had experience in the game, so I didn't have to go through the trial and errors.
Absolutely. That is the benefit of experience is, if someone else is open and willing to share it, you got to tap into that. So again,
I
the
also
trucking
wouldn't
cheat
buy a
code.
truck with cash.
With cash, you wouldn't? Why?
Well, because for me, again, this is all like perspective, right? And
Mhm.
opinion for me, because it's not the right answer. It's just my perspective. But the goal is to get money in the bank. So I wouldn't bleed my bank to go buy a truck like full out like I did. I spent over $30,000 for my first truck cash. When that truck is going to break down like a truck that's financed, it's going to need maintenance like a truck that's financed, it's going to require all the same things. But I would allow myself to have more cushion and put a down payment, even though it might be slightly higher with financing. We know that. But that truck is going to pay for itself versus bleeding out everything that you have or a big bulk of it because you might need that cushion. So for me, I would finance or lease versus just buying some trucks straight out, unless, I'm going to go get 10 or 20 and they're just a certain price. But just getting one or two trucks, I would go the financing route. I would save as much money as I can and allow my company to cover my overhead and gradually grow like that, and to know that you have that cushion, you got money saved, because that's what the goal is, to get the money there. So
Okay. What I hear is the keeping, like you said, that cushion, because there's not too many other places you're going to be able to have that cash, those cash reserves to be able to take care of your other costs, eating being one. There's not too many other ways you're not going to get a loan to, feed yourself. So having the cash definitely will allow you to do that. Just was trying to make sure there weren't any other questions, but this is awesome, and it really was very insightful, and that's really what I liked about connecting with the Trucking Cheat Code. All of you are coming from places of, this is what you do. This isn't, what you read. This isn't a course that you took and then turned around and created. This is what you do. You're a CDL holder. Eric's a, compliance person. Marcus, is out there, CDL holder. He's been in fleet management. Damien, with the accounting piece. All of you have been actively involved in trucking, and not from years ago, but today. Like you said, you're about to get back in your truck. This is what you guys do right now. So, I mean,
yeah,
you're right on the pulse of everything that's going on in trucking. So thank you so much
thank you.
for
I
your time
appreciate that.
and for all the input here. And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. You guys just continue to connect. I've got her information streaming. It'll be found here at the very end. Like I said, this video will stay in our rotation for the week under the feature tab. It's on the YouTube. And just reach out to Teeuana on Instagram. And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. I was trying to just make sure all my windows were open. And we'll catch you guys again next time.
All
Thank
right, thank
you.
you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you,
Thank
Lana, for
you. You
having me.
too. No
Okay.
problem. Have a good
I don't know
one.
how to leave. Oh, there it goes.
There you
Bye.
go. See you.